Hello, everybody. Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas. Midland, Texas is about 4.5 hours west of the Dallas Fort Worth area, with Abilene, Texas kind of in between. And then we have El Paso about 4 hours to the west of us. So we're in the middle of the desert, oil country, famous for oil here. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea of where I'm at. Right now it is 75 degrees, so we're having a little bit of a cooler day today. I am so excited to show you the projects that we're making today. They are using the Splendid Autumn suite from the Holiday Mini Catalog. I will get to that in just a minute. When you pop on, let me know you're here and talk with me as I stamp. Hi, Roz. Roz, I'm so glad you guys skirted the storm and came out fine. I've had you on my heart all week. Roz is on the east side of Florida, and so they definitely had an eventful past week. I'm glad you're with us today, Roz, and thanks for joining me. All right, so some things going on. I'm going to talk about those first as people start popping on, and then we will get to crafting together, okay? So the first thing is that right now, October, Stampin' Up! Is having a join special. The join special is always the best deal in the catalog. Usually for $99, you can get $125 worth of anything you want. But right now in October, they upped that by $30. So now for $99, you can get $155 of anything you want. You can join my awesome team, get all my PDFs for free, join my team meetings if you wish. Talk about crafting. Hi, Becky. Hi, Chelsea. I'm glad you're here, Chelsea. Thanks for popping in. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for coming. Yeah, watching on silent. I used to do that a lot at my office as well when I was working in the school in my counseling office. I would turn off the sound and watch as well. So anyway, if you have ever thought about wanting to get a 20% discount on all your orders, joining a team is the best way to do that. I will also say choose wisely. If you're going to join a team, choose your team wisely. Sometimes all that glitters is not gold. And I can tell you that my team is awesome, positive, encouraging, fun, sharing, collaborating. I just love them, and they are just my whole heart. So if you're thinking about joining a team, I'd love for you to join mine. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You can just be a little happy discount shopper, and that is actually what most of my team is. So if you have any more questions about that, let me know. Next, right now, Stampin' Up! Is having 30% off all of their kits collection. So a great time to buy kits. We have everyday kits, we have stamping kits, we have non-stamping kits, we have Christmas kits, we have holiday kits, we have birthday calendar journals, we have travel journals, all kinds of fun things in our kit collection. So this month, they're all on sale. So check those out in the kits tab in my online store, which is listed right below there, tuttleupshop.com. Okay, next, I have a Christmas card class coming up soon. Registration will close this weekend. So if you're part of my email list, you will get notified about that. If you're not, you should think about joining my email list, because that's where I notify you of all my upcoming classes, sales, everything awesome that is going on right now in my Tuttle Up world. And I want you to mark your calendars. I'm going to have a bingo night. Everybody loves bingo night. So we play bingo, we make cards, and you can win gift certificates for some awesome prizes. It will be on November 16th, which is a Saturday evening, 6 o'clock my time. And I give away gift certificates for product. I don't give away product. I give away gift certificates so you can choose the products you want in bingo. So think about joining me. More information about that will be in my newsletter tomorrow. So be sure to join my newsletter and email page. I will put a link to that in the description after this video is over. Hi, Becky. Thanks for joining me. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier, so if I did, sorry about the double hi. Can never be too friendly, right? Okay, so I'm going to move. That is all the blah, blah, blah. Really, if you spend a lot of Stampin' Up, if you love stamping, scrapbooking as much as I do, it really is just a smart financial choice to join a team. So think about that. Yeah, Chelsea, I'm excited about bingo as well. Okay, so we love bingo and we love winning prizes, and I love giving away prizes. So the amount I give away, I never state that to begin with, because it really depends on how many people join the bingo. But in the past, my big prizes have been anywhere from $50 to $75. And a little portion of your registration goes into the bingo pot. So anyway, think about joining me on November 16th. Like I said, I just got that event started this morning, so it's not totally finalized yet, but if you're part of my email list, you will find out about it, and more to come, obviously, next week as well. Okay, so I'm going to move you down to my hands here, and this is what we are going, before I start that, if your name is Donna Tillotson, you won my cards from last week, and these were so much fun. So every week I give away my cards that I made the week before, one set of them. So this was using the Snowy Wonder bundle, and we made a little pocket card. We made a fun fold card, which was really cute. That one was fun. And, oops, that shouldn't have been in there. And a snow globe with the snowman card. Yay. So, Donna, if you will shoot me your address, I will get these in the mail to you this week. Donna Tillotson. I'll get them in the mail to you this week. You guys, a lot of people don't claim their cards, which makes me really sad. So claim them, because I would love to get them in your hands, okay? So that just befuddles me, but you know, there you go. All right, so Splendid Autumn Suite is what we're using today. This suite comes with this beautiful, look at the fonts in this stamp set. Isn't that so pretty? This is called the Autumn Expressions Bundle. And this is a really interesting set of dies, because you get this frame and obviously some leaves and some cutout, but we're going to be using that today. It also comes with this beautiful 6x6 paper, gorgeous, and we're going to be using some of this today. you've seen me use that piece before. So pretty. Beautiful autumn landscapes, and I think you're going to love what I did with this card. That almost looks like pumpkins in there, but I think it's supposed to be wildflowers of some kind. And then these are those, I think it's called Queen Anne's lace. Isn't that so pretty? Beautiful papers. I have on hand with me 5 of these embellishment packs and 5 packages, 6x6 of this Splendid Autumn 6x6 paper. We're going to do a special for getting this class to go. So hang on with me till the very end. I love this suite too, Roz. So pretty. Okay. So let's get started. I have 2 fun folds for you today. We'll also be using, real quick, this beautiful wild wheat ribbon. Now the ribbon is on back order right now, but it's said to be in next week sometime. Same with the embellishments, okay? But if you get this as an online card class to go, I will provide what you need to make these cards, okay? I purposely did not use a ton of ribbon because I knew it was on back order. So, okay, so who's ready to start stamping? Thank you, Chelsea. You're the best. Chelsea always puts the when she's here, when she can be here, she puts the item numbers in the chat there for us so that we can easily find them. Okay, so first card we're going to make today is this one. I love this card. It is very simple. It says, change can be beautiful, and inside, may the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy. I love that. I love this piece of designer series paper. I will grab that for us out of my little magic box over here, and we can start putting this card together. Now, I do something not all demonstrators do, and I give you the measurements of the cards and the pieces that I'm using, because if you have everything, I want you to be able to copy me at home. Okay, so we're starting out with a piece of Cajun Craze paper that is cut 5.5 by 8.25. It should be 8.5. Sheesh, I don't know why I do it. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. That's a pretty standard cut card. This is called an A1 card. Okay, now I've got two pieces of basic white that are cut 4 by 5.25. One of them is just plain, and I'm going to put that inside. One of them I embossed with the beautiful, cute crochet embossing folder. I don't know if you guys can see this very well in the light here. There we go. It's very delicate, very sweet, so pretty, very detailed. Look at all the detail in that. And it's not like a deep embossed. It's very, it is very delicate, which I really love. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and do the inside of our card. Basic white, and then I have a strip of designer series paper here, and this is just the back side of one of those landscapes. It's Cajun Craze, and it's cut 3/4 of an inch by 5.25 inch. So I'm going to grab my Seal Plus here, and I am going to just attach that along the bottom edge of this basic white. Let me get it a little straighter for us there. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp right above it here. May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy. And I'm going to stamp that in Cajun Craze ink. Thanks, Chelsea. That's next week. So believe it or not, October is just speeding by, isn't it? Okay, so there we go. May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy. There we go. And now I'm going to attach this to the inside of my card base. Right there. Okay. Now I'm going to take this piece that I embossed with that cute crochet embossing folder. It was out, but it has come back in. So this is going to go right on top here of my Cajun Craze paper. That's going to lighten it up quite a bit, right? And then I have that same paper that I put on the inside, but I cut it 2 inches by 5.25 inches for the outside. Same DSP. It's kind of Cajun Craze. It's got a little bit of moody mauve in there. It's very pretty. So I know I hate to cover up this beautiful landscape, but we're going to. It's going to be okay. And I'm going to put that right across the front of my card, right like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to close that before I stick my hand in it. I cut the DSP, and I'm using that beautiful, they're not daisies, what do I want to call chrysanthemums, maybe? And that is, this is cut 3 by 3. So the nice thing about that is that you can get 4 of these panels out of one sheet of designer series paper. Let's see if I can put my hands on that one. And any of the 4 panels would work beautifully. Here we are, right here. So this is what I cut, and I just cut it in half at 3 and in half at 3. And so any of those 4 corners would look beautiful on this card. So that's kind of fun. And then I have this crushed curry piece that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. The DSP is 3 by 3. I'm just going to attach those 2 together. We don't get much of an autumn here in Midland. It's one of the things I miss about living up north, is the changing into fall. I do not miss changing into winter. I don't. People said I would. People said, you're going to miss the snow. I don't miss the snow. I never loved being cold. So I'm going to put dimensionals on the back side of this. But I do have my front porch decorated for autumn. I have a scarecrow out there. I have some chrysanthemums, and I'm going to get a hay bale out there, and I'm going to add some pumpkins. So I'm going to do my best to get in the fall season. So I'm going to put this panel, isn't that so pretty, right here on this side, okay? Now, I have this label that I cut from the Everyday Labels that is in the online exclusives. I am loving this label set. Let's see if I can put my hands on it right here. Oh, it's too far away, but this is the Everyday Labels. Comes with a Christmas stamp set and an everyday stamp set. You can take either one of those. And on this label, I'm going to stamp in Cajun Craze the words that change can be beautiful. Beautiful fonts in this set. That is really one of the things that makes this set just stunning. Change can be beautiful in Cajun Craze. There we go. I had cut an extra one just in case I needed it, but I didn't. And I'm going to pop this up right here, kind of halfway between the flowers and halfway between the label. So this side of my label doesn't need popping, but this side does, to make it even with this panel, this landscape panel I have there. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on this side, and then I'm going to put flat glue on that side. Okay, that way my label will sit balanced between my landscape and my banner that's going across it, right like that. Change can be beautiful. And then I'm going to take this wild wheat ribbon, and I'm just going to, you guys, this is so soft and pretty. I wish you could feel it in your hands if you don't have any yet. And I'm just going to tie it in a knot. I remember when wild wheat first came out, we were all like, ooh. We weren't sure we loved the color, but I'm telling you, I'm kind of loving it now. I'll be sad when it goes away. It's an in color, which means it's only with us for a couple of years, and it's on its second year, so it's almost done. Okay, so this is my knot. I'm going to grab a glue dot, and I'm going to add a glue dot, and you could have put the ribbon through the hole. I feel like I enjoy just sometimes using a glue dot and just pasting it right on top of that hole. covers the hole. It gives the appearance it's going through the hole, but it's really just, isn't that pretty? How simple is this card? And it is definitely stunning. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my embellishments. Oh, here we go. And I used some of these mossy green, maybe old olive green would be a better description of the green that is. And I'm just going to scatter a few. One down here, one right here. So the reason you can't buy the whole suite right now is because that wild wheat ribbon is currently unavailable. Okay, but it'll be back soon. So there's card number 1. How easy is that? Isn't that fun and so pretty? I love it. So card number 1 is using the Change Can Be Beautiful. Super easy, fun card, an easy one to reproduce. You can get 4 of these panels out of 1 sheet of designer series paper. Okay, so that's card number 1. Now I'm struggling to decide which of my next 2 cards I want to do first. They're both fun folds, and they're both very fun. You're gonna love them. Okay, so I think I'll do this one next. So this one is a fun fold, and that we've created it so that this is a seamless piece of, well, it's not seamless, there's a little bit of a seam right there, piece of designer series paper. So this is the top of the designer series paper, and this is the bottom. And I've sectioned it so that that banner will open up like this, and then open like that. And then it says, "May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy." And the outside says, "Grateful for you." Isn't that a sweet, fun fold? I really like it. So I hope you guys will enjoy watching me put this one together for you. Okay, so I went ahead and didn't cut my designer series paper because I wanted to show you how I did that. But we're going to start with a card base. Let me get all my pieces out of here. We're going to start with a card base that's 9 1/4 by 4 1/4. This is thick white. This is a thick white card base, 9 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I'm scoring it right here at 3 3/4. Okay, 3 3/4. So that is going to pop up like this. So the score is going to go at the bottom. The small panel is going to be right here. And then the full back is going to be in the back. Okay, I'm going to take my designer series paper, and I want to cut it into 2 panels. One of them is 4 inches by 2 inches, and one of them is 4 inches by 3.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in here, and I'm going to cut it this way, 4 inches, because this is the side that I want to show on my card. Okay, and here's a beautiful panel that we can use on another card later on. Then off the top here, I'm going to cut 2 inches. Okay, so that's going to go on my top panel. What's left is a panel that is 4, but I want to cut it down to 3.5. So I decided to cut the extra half off of this part right here. There we go. So I have 2 DSP panels that coordinate and go together. This one is 4 inches by 2 inches, and this one is 4 inches by 3.5 inches. Okay, so let me put that away. Now the 4 inch by 2 inch piece, I'm going to put at the top. Right here. So pretty. And this one I'm going to put on the front panel right here. Those are those purple chrysanthemums. Might be daisies. I don't know. Sometimes I think chrysanthemums look like daisies. I don't know. Or maybe a daisy is a chrysanthemum. I don't know. Okay, I'm not a flower expert. Anyway, it's beautiful. So that is going to be our card base, okay? Now, I have already pre-cut some things over here. So, we have this frame that I cut out of Blackberry Bliss paper. And for the outside of the frame, I just wanted the outside, right? I just wanted that. So I'm going to show you this die real quick. So when you run this die right here through the die cutting machine, it's going to cut out the inside of the frame separately from the outside. So when I ran this through, I got pieces on the inside of this that popped out that were also Blackberry Bliss, okay? Then I ran it through twice in basic white, and I'll show you why. One of these, do you see how the frame here is wider than the frame here? So the inside of this piece here is a bigger piece than the inside of this piece. You want white inserts, but you want 2 large and 1 small. So I ran it through 2 times so that I could get 2 large and 1 small. Now you can see the difference in these. Okay, so one of them is just a little bit bigger than the other. Can you tell that? So one of them came out from when I ran it through in basic white from this panel, and one of them came out from this panel up here. Okay, you need 2 large though, so you had to do it twice. 2 large and a small. I've got some extra ones here in case I need them. Okay, so I need this frame is going to end up being centered right here on this panel, and it's going to open up like this, and then it's going to open like this. I'm going to put my pieces on the inside first, okay? So it folds over really nicely. You can create it so it looks like a mirror or a picture. Lots of fun things you can do with that. So this is the inside piece, and this one is going to say, "May the beauty of the season." So I need to grab my chamois here, right here, and clean this off real quick before I add a new color to it. Okay, and I'm stamping this card in Mossy Meadow. And it's going to go right across this smaller inside piece right there. Okay, I'll complete that in just a second. Now these are the larger pieces. See, a little bit bigger. You need 2 of them. On one of these, I'm going to stamp the words "Grateful for You." What a beautiful card to send to somebody and let them know. So last year, I challenged myself in the month of November to send out every day at least 1 card letting someone know that I love them, I'm grateful for them, I appreciate them during November. And it was such a fun project to do. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so the one with the wider frame, the part of this Blackberry Bliss that has the wider frame, one of these panels is going to go on top right here, and my other large panel is going to go behind it to kind of hold it all together. Okay, so it's going to go like that. So I'm going to start with the one that's going behind it. And I'm using my Tombow glue, but I bought these bottles off of Amazon because they have a very fine tip, which definitely comes in handy for a tiny skinny frame like this one. Okay, you don't want this frame to close up and glue together. So we're just going to put a few dots, and you don't want a lot. I might even take my finger, kind of smear it out a little bit. To make sure it's not too blobby on there. Okay, so I'm smearing this out like that. Okay, now this piece is going to go on the inside right here. Cover that hole up. I can take my little magic eraser and get some of that glue off of that side right there. Okay, now I'm going to fold it up, and this piece is going to go on top. But I'm just going to put glue right here in this middle part now, and it's going to help it get centered and on there a whole lot better than just doing the edges all by itself. So there we go. There's the outside. Okay, now I'm going to take this frame and I'm going to adhere it right here to the front of my card. Now, I want it to be a little bit up from that edge. So these little square things up here at the top, rectangular, the bottom of those, I'm kind of centering on my bottom panel. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add glue very sparingly. Don't go crazy with your liquid glue. I'm going to put a little bit right here and here and here and here and maybe a tiny bit on the sides right here. Just very lightly. And then fold this panel up onto that and press it down. Oh, I'm sorry, Linda. Yeah, I knew you would, Mary. I am your worst enabler, aren't I? Mary takes a lot of my online classes to go, and we talked this morning. I said, I think you're going to love my cards today. They're so pretty. Okay, so now this is that smaller panel, and I am going to adhere it right here, just inside that inside frame, and it's not going to go side to side because it's the smaller piece, but it's going to fit right inside, right like that. Okay, so here's the front. Isn't that pretty? Now I have cut a bunch of these little bows, and I've cut them in Blackberry Bliss and Mossy Meadow. I don't think I need this many, but we're going to go for it here. And what I did is I'm just taking these bows, and I did a blackberry and a mossy and another blackberry here, right, like that. Okay, kind of fanned them out a little bit. And I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back side here, just a few dots on those leaves that are at the top here in the stems. And I'm going to adhere that right in the corner right here of that frame. Right like that. Oops, this one may need a little more. I think it'll be okay. I'm going to just leave it right like that. And I'm going to grab one of my blocks and just set it on top and hold that in place for just a second. While we're waiting for that to get secure and dry, for this card, I felt like the wild wheat was a little too yellow for it. So I'm just grabbing some linen thread. And I'm going to use 2 pieces. So I'm cutting 2 strings of linen thread, and I'm just tying a single bow. Thanks, Jen. Isn't it pretty? I love it. I was inspired by one that I saw in our creative corner that we have. And I changed it up a bit to fit me, which is the fun thing. Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, when you become part of our family, we're just really great about sharing and allowing people to use our ideas for theirs and make them their own. It's one of the joys of being on a team and being able, I mean, you can find ideas anywhere, right? But I don't know, there's a special camaraderie that comes from the Stampin' Up! demonstrator community, I think, that is very special. So we have a special demonstrator page where we share our cards, and we share them on our team with each other. We share them within teams, like Jen and I are not on the same team, but we share a lot of things with each other. And so if you're looking for a community of people who are crazy like you about stamping, joining a team is a great idea. Okay, so there we go. There's my linen thread. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to scatter on some gems. And I used those Mossy Meadow ones again. I just think they fit this card, the greens and the colors that are in this card, the best. So I have one there, and then I put one down here, and a small one kind of catty corner next to it there. Okay, so this is card number 2. Isn't that a fun fold? I've never thought about, lifting, putting the something like, well, I don't know if we've ever had anything like this in Stampin' Up, but a frame like this. It's such a cute design. So then it opens like this. Isn't that a fun card? I love that. So that is card number 2. There we go. And I have one more card to make with you today, and it is also a fun fold. So I'm going fun fold crazy today. This, I don't know. Some people call them fancy folds, and I don't know what makes something fancy and what makes something fun. Maybe you guys can tell me. This one, some people might call it fancy, but I just call it fun. So let me kind of clean up my area here real quick. I don't think I need these that have already been inked over here, but I'm going to clean them off anyway, just to be sure. And then my last card might be my personal favorite. And it's a fun fold that kind of has a hinge over here on the side. How pretty is this? And then it opens to the left, and then this scene opens to the right, and then you have that panel inside. How pretty is that? Isn't this a pretty card? And you're going to see it's a whole lot simpler than you might think. So let me just check my inside here. Okay, so here we go. We are starting with a piece of early espresso. Let me pull out all my pieces here. Okay, so you guys out there, would you call that a fun fold or a fancy fold? Maybe it depends on where you live, like pecan or pecan. Pecan or pecans. Okay, so we're going to start with a base of early espresso that's cut 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to fold that in half, but this time I want the seam to be on, the score line to be on the right side. So it's the opposite of what we usually do, okay? Then I've got a DSP panel. Isn't this so pretty? Almost makes me sad to cut it. But the cool thing is we use almost all of this paper on this card. Okay, so I'm going to grab my cutting board here, my Stampin' Cut board, and I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4, and I'm cutting this bottom edge here because I want as many of those beautiful leaves as I can get on this card. So there's my bottom edge. I can keep that for something later on. And then I want this side of this panel to be cut at 4 inches. And that leaves a 2-inch on this other side that's going to go on the inside. Okay? So this panel is going to be, look at that beautiful crushed curry on the background there. I'm going to attach this. Oh, let me get my corners really good here. Here we go. It's going to go right there. Okay, and then this remaining 2-inch panel is going to go on the inside. Hi, Jeanne. B. A fancy B. I like that you said that. She called it a fancy fun fold. Well, yes, why do we have to not have them together? So this piece is actually going to go on the left side here of the inside. So actually this card is going to open this way, but I just made a mistake. So I'm going to pull that off real quick. Got ahead of myself a little bit there. It's going to be okay. It hasn't been down long. We're going to come back to that. Okay, we need to put our hinge in first. So this is the hinge that's going to create the fancy fun fold. And it is cut 1.5 by 4 1/4. And then you're going to score it on the 4 1/4 at 2 1/8. Okay, so I should have put this down first. We're going to fold this in half. And this is going to create that hinge. And I'm going to put some Seal Plus on the background here of this one. And you want the hinge to open this way. So you want the score line on the hinge to be on the left side. And now I'm going to attach that about to the center of the inside here of the left side, the cut side right there. That's my hinge, okay? Now, whew, almost blew it there. Now you can put the DSP on the inside, and it's going to cover that hinge for us there. So we don't even notice it, that it's there, okay? Now, I have a piece of basic white that is cut 3 3/4 by 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And real quickly, I'm going to take this wheat image. My husband grew up on a wheat farm in southwest Kansas his whole life. They had 5,000 acres of farmland that his grandpa and his dad farmed together. And so I remember the first time I saw a huge wheat field. I was older than I should have been because I was always a city girl. So I'm inking this up full ink, and I'm going to stamp it full strength. And then I'm going to move it over slightly and stamp it again. Give a little lighter touch. And then I'm going to stamp off. And I'm going to give a little light touch right there in that corner. Isn't that pretty? Just kind of coming up from that left corner. And we are going to, so how many of you have bought the Splendid Autumn Suite already and played with it? I hope that if you did, you feel like I'm giving you some inspiration. Now this is going to be added to the inside, kind of even on both sides. Right, like that. And that's the inside of our card. That's done. Okay, now let's go to the outside panel. And this is going to become our hinge over here on the side. Let me use my bone folder here and get a nice crease on that. Okay, right here. And for the outside, I have a piece of Cajun craze that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I have a piece of that Cajun craze colored, watercolored DSP, the back side of one of our landscapes, okay? And it's going to go on this Cajun craze. So, Jeanne, I just announced that I'm having a bingo night on November 16th. I know you've enjoyed coming to those in the past. It's super fun. You can be my advocate that we have a good time, all right? And then this panel is going to get adhered right here, but only to where the hinge is. Okay, so you need to be careful about that. Rory's wanting my attention here, so I'm just gonna ignore. I know, I hear you. We're just gonna, you know what I need to do? Stop. I need to start bringing some doggy treats in with me to keep her quiet while I'm doing my Facebook Lives. Okay, so I just put adhesive on the hinge. I want to lift this up so you can see it. Just right on that little edge right there, okay? not all the way across, because you just want to adhere this panel to the front right there. Press it down, and then it's going to open like that. Okay? Pretty cool, huh? Now I'm going to grab that wild wheat ribbon. I'm going to cut a piece off here. And I'm going to thread this around that hinge right here and tie it in a bow. Okay, why don't I think about ideas like that as far as keeping Rory busy until I'm on my Facebook Lives? My husband was here, so I thought he was going to keep her occupied, but he must have had to go back to work. Okay, so there we go. There's my bow made out of that wild wheat, beautiful wild wheat ribbon. And that's just going to give me a better idea of how to center this frame on the front. Okay, so then I have one of our nested essential labels. This one is the rectangular one with the curved edge, and it's 2 3/8 by 3 inches after it's cut out. Okay, on the front of this, in Early Espresso ink, I am stamping "Have a perfectly lovely day." The script on these are just so pretty. Okay, so "Have a perfectly lovely day" is going to be stamped right in the center of that nested essentials frame. There we go, so pretty. And I don't think I need this any longer. It's going to get popped up in the center of this front hinged panel. There we go. I'm going to put another one right there in the center so we don't have any sagging in the middle. So I don't know if you guys have already got Thanksgiving plans ironed out. I'm really excited because my son and daughter-in-law from Iowa will be coming down and spending Thanksgiving with us here. They don't get to come down very often, so it'll be so fun to have them here for Thanksgiving this year. Okay, so this one's going to be popped right onto there. Now, I've cut some things out already with our dies. I have a few of these wild wheat leaves, and they're fun because they kind of have a stitched, let's see if you guys can see that. Isn't that cool? And then some more of those leaf boughs in Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so all I did with these is I'm going to put a dimensional on the bottom edge near the stem, and it's going to get popped up under that ribbon. But I don't want it to cover my words, so I'm going to be strategic. There we go. Now I put that there. And then I'm going to grab my blackberry bough here, and it's going to get glued on kind of underneath that bigger embossed leaf, but also under my ribbon right here. Just kind of tuck it in there. Maybe I'll come back and put a little dot on that fond, but I think it'll stay once it's all glued in there. All right, and so when I open this up, those aren't going to move. You see, they're going to move with the ribbon. How pretty is this? Do you guys love this? I definitely kind of love it. So, okay. And again, I saw a card using totally different stamp sets, totally different paper, and I made it my own by using this bundle. And so when you're designing cards, you don't have to worry about using other people's card designs. If they post them on the internet, they want you to see them and use them and adore them. Okay, at least I do. I can only speak for myself on that. So there we go. Isn't it so pretty? I love that. So have a perfectly lovely day. And then they open it up and they're like, oh, Oh, beautiful fall foliage. And then the inside there, you can write a sweet little note on the inside. So these are my 6 cards that you will get a card kit for if you place an order this week in my online store. And I'm going to sweeten the deal a little bit because I know that, let me grab my other ones here. Here was card number 2. Which do you guys love the best? Tell me which one you love the best. I even love my simple one here. Change can be beautiful, right? So these are my cards this time. Okay, so now here's the story. If you place a $50 order in my online store, the first 5 people to do that will get one of these packages of the faux glass dots with their make and take. If you place a $100 order this week, not only will you get the make and take kit and the fox glass dots that are unavailable, I will throw in a package of the Splendid Autumn 6x6 Designer Series paper. If you place a $100 order or more, if you place a $50 order or more, you'll just get the faux glass dots, but you'll get everything to make these 6 cards. But if you place a $100 order, I'll throw in a package of the Splendid Autumn 6x6 Designer Series paper. That is a great deal. Yes. So fun, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to come back to my face here and say a proper goodbye. I'm grateful for you, Sharon, and I'm grateful for all of you that come and spend your Monday lunch times with me every week. It's a joy. It's my joy. So I hope you love the beautiful cards we designed, including the 2 fun folds. If you'd like to get this kit in the mail, you can get it in the mail for any order of $35 or more. But if you place a $50 order, I'm throwing in the faux dots. If you place a $100 order, I'm throwing in a 6x6 pack of that Designer Series paper. So God bless everybody. I will see you on Thursday for a Tuttle Thursday tip. And then I'll be back with you next Monday for our craft. Are we at the craft along already? Let me see. I don't think we are. I think I'm pushing it. So, nope, not next week is not the craft along. It'll be the week after that. So, I'll be sure to do something fantastic for you guys next week as well. God bless. Go bless somebody's day. Tell them they're beautiful. You love them. And make someone smile. So, bye, guys. See you soon.